Hello Art One, here is the start of your introduction to color theory. Now the unit objectives are, you're going to understand the relationships between colors by labeling and painting a color wheel. You're going to learn the language or vocabulary of color theory by taking notes and using them to complete 3 color charts. You're going to demonstrate the ability to identify and paint the primary, secondary, and tertiary colors. Also demonstrate the ability to paint tints, tones, and shades, and demonstrate excellent craftsmanship skills with the paint by following teacher demonstrations and instructions to complete the color charts and color wheel. So why color? How you use color in your artwork changes the look and feel or mood, right? Look at the difference between here and here. This is why artists, designers, anybody in a creative field, they study color. Color harmonies can evoke certain emotions from viewers. Color gives context to an artwork. So color is organized on this spectrum of light called the electromagnetic spectrum. And color is actually an energy wavelength that our eyes are sensitive to. Our eyes have evolved to see color. We can only see this part of visible light, but all these other types of wavelengths, we cannot detect them from our eyes. In 1666, Isaac Newton discovered color. He passed sunlight through a prism, which is a piece of glass. It split the beam of light into 7 colors. He took those colors, he arranged them into a circle from red to indigo. Indigo is kind of like a blue. And if you mix red and blue together, you get purple or violet. And so that's kind of where the color wheel came from. So what is a color wheel? The color wheel is an arrangement of colors in a circle that visually organizes colors according to their chromatic relationship. So what is color though? This is our definition for color. It's the visual sensation dependent on the reflection or absorption of light from a given source. So our eyes have evolved to see certain colors due to these things that we call rods and cones. Rods and cones allow us to see color. We have 3 cones that enable us to see a variety of colors. But did you know the mantis shrimp, their eyes have evolved with 12 different cones? I mean, imagine the colors they can see, right? Try to imagine colors that don't exist, right? It's kind of impossible because we only know certain colors, right? So this might be a painting we see of an ocean shoreline, right? But according to a mantis shrimp, they might see something like this. Let's talk about color, hue, and chroma. Oh, the humanity! So what is hue? Hue is the name of the color. Very simple, right? The hue of my hair is brown. The hue of the table is tan. The hue of the floor is gray. Now, what is intensity? Intensity, also known as saturation, it's the brightness or dullness of a color. Brightness, for example, hot pink, neon green. A dull color would be like a gray, a grayish red, a grayish blue. You can actually change the intensity or saturation of the colors on the photos you take on your phone. Colors, they change our perception. If you've ever looked at statues from Greek and Roman history, a lot of their statues are white, right? And we just assume maybe they never painted them. But we know for a fact that many ancient sculptures were actually painted. But over time, the paint has chipped away or it's faded due to time and history. Designers, they're always looking at colors, right? There's color trends, there's popular colors, there's not so popular colors. We see colors being used in movies, film, advertisement. It's everywhere. This painting here, right, looks a little bit darker due to the use of color. Now we're going to talk about three parts here. We're going to start with the primary colors. This is the most basic set of colors. These are the colors that we learn about way back in kindergarten and elementary school. So using those 3 colors, red, yellow, and blue, you can mix them to create all the other colors on the color wheel except black and white. So we just think of the primary colors as the three basic colors. And some artists do use primary colors in different ways, but not so much. Usually we just use the primary colors as another color in the artwork. Now, taking those primary colors, when you mix primary colors together, you do form the secondary colors. So this is the other set of colors that go on the color wheel. So secondary colors, they are a mix of two primaries. We take yellow and blue. When you mix that together, you get green. When you mix yellow and red, we mix it together, we get orange. When you mix red and blue, you create violet or purple. And these are a couple examples of paintings where the artist has used primarily secondary colors. So you can see how these two sets of colors actually fit together in the color wheel. Now let's talk about the tertiary colors. Now these are the colors that fit between the primary and secondary color. They're actually really easy to remember. So tertiary colors, they're created by mixing one primary color and one secondary color next to each other on the color wheel. For example, if we mix yellow and orange together, we get yellow-orange. If we mix red and violet together, we get a color that we call red-violet. It's kind of like a magenta. If we mix blue and green together, we get blue-green, which is kind of like a teal or a turquoise. Again, really easy to remember. So you can see this is a completed color wheel. We have our primary colors, we have our secondary colors that are created using those two primary colors, and then we mix the primary and secondary together to get the tertiary color. There's an example of an artwork that's using just tertiary colors. And these are other examples of artworks that just use a variety of colors. Again, it just makes the artwork look way more interesting and engaging. So we're going to pause here. Let's complete those first set of notes, and then you'll move on to the next task.